Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. Number one on the list coming up, AI is gonna be replacing you. That's right, you. You're gonna have to learn a new skill. All of you who went to school and all you had to do was study, write things down, and really basically studied and write things down, and then you went to go work for somebody else and took orders. This may be a difficult achievement, but you can start now because you may have to learn a new skill set. I'm not talking about next week, next year. We're talking about in the next 5 years, slowly but surely, AI is going to replace tens of millions of jobs. Welcome again. Stop struggling now, gear. No fear, no excuses is what you're going to need. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here needing this information, who's going on along about their business, never minding what's happening in the background. Let me ask you something very plain and simple. Why do you think corporations are spending trillions of dollars in the AI race? There's several reasons. But the number one cost to most businesses are employees. And since employees are going to cost an arm and a leg because livable wages is getting harder and harder, you're going to have to start paying people $50 an hour, $40 an hour just so they can have livable wages. So why would they not like to have, along with think of it as a big group, a large group of corporations, let's just say the top 500 corporations that employ millions of people. And with the switch of computer sticks, they can sit there and say, you know what? We don't need this person. We don't need to pay them $75,000 a year. We don't need to pay this person $100,000. We don't have to pay this person $45,000. Because if we have the AI that can operate systems and you can talk to it, we might need only a few people. And you know how automation works. So now it's just like when computers came out in the 70s, when they said you might want to start learning about computers. So those people would be getting the higher paid jobs. Well, now we're at it again, except this time it's going to be cruel and unusual punishment because lots of people are going to be laid off in the millions over the next 5 years. And where are the jobs going to be? That's the $1 million question that we're going to talk about tonight. We'll get into it because we have to make sure you're prepared, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want you losing on my watch. OCs, ordinary citizens, we want you to win because a rising tide lifts all boats. So we can't leave anybody behind, at least not let them know. All right, here we go. EV Place is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline today. Good evening, everyone. I agree. AI is a great tool. I am doing real estate market research and simulations using Gemini 2.5 Pro. It uses real market data exactly. It's doing computer on steroids with learning abilities and being able to grab information from wherever you tell it to come in with a plan, all within minutes. And it can actually implement the plan down the road, because then you could easily say, put this on my, let's just say Instagram, Facebook, right? Put a video to market whatever I want on certain sites, and it produces the whole thing for you. This is where it's going, ladies and gentlemen. So now, are you going to be a lamb to slaughter? Or are you going to be learning how EV Place is learning? Like I'm going to have to go learn. That's right. Old men have to learn or they die. We can't have the young guns coming in here whipping our ass now, can we? The whole point of competition and hierarchies are based on who can adapt the soonest, the quickest, the fastest, and understand what's coming in the next 3 to 5 years, where you can ride the wave and position yourself to be, well, let's just call it living a little beyond your means. All right. Let's put it that way. All right. Thank you for that, EV Place, because that is the direction he's over there making it happen. Gemini 2.5, which, by the way, we'll get to that. I didn't have that on my bingo card for discussion, but you know what? I'm going to go do something. Uh, I have something else on the bingo card for everybody, because I like stats. So I picked something where people have done a little research, and it's dated on June 18th, that I'm going to actually put on the screen, because you guys know I like to make sure that you guys are up to par. EV Place and Samsung Galaxy S23 and newer is under one button now. There you go. See, here's the thing about phones. I keep my phones generally for about 8 years. But things are happening right now with AI, and just what he mentioned, that S23. I have a Note 9 in my hand. All right. I had no envisions of getting a new one. But now, because of this AI, I think my phone life cannot be 10 years like normal. I think it's going to have to be like next year. I might have to get a new phone. It's going to have to be S23 and higher, because just what he just said, one button. Let's get real, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't do that right now. That's for sure. All right. Thank you for mentioning that. This is exactly what's going to happen, streamlining. And that means there's going to be a whole bunch of people getting cut off. You have 1 year, 6 months to get assets, so you get passive income to pay you. These same corporations who are going to put all their money into AI, like NVIDIA, which they're now all-time record high. So some of you who were lucky enough to be around when we were all giddy just a month ago, no, 2 months ago almost, when the stock market was crashing, and NVIDIA, AMD, and a whole bunch of artificial intelligence related companies were down near their 52-week low. Now, NVIDIA is at their 52-week high. NVIDIA was the big one because it went under 100. In fact, it went under $90 a share. So I know we have winners in the house, because I know some people who bought under 90 is here watching tonight. So imagine you had 86, 87, 88, or even 90 or $95, and in less than 2 months, the NVIDIA stock is like 153, I believe, today. All-time high. And marching, because they have made the commitment to spend $1 trillion over the next few years to make sure they're the leader in artificial intelligence and moving into robotics. Because once you get artificial intelligence and then you can interact like a computer now, all of a sudden you have a robot, you can tell it what to do for the next 2 hours. Examples: mow the half acre of lawn. Right? Can you grab a few things like steaks and corn and some vegetables out of the fridge and fix them? Medium rare. See, this is the thing. This is 1970 all over again. There was already computers. You had NASA, you had IBM, you had all these companies that were having these computers that took up a whole building. You know, 100 megabytes was a whole five rooms of big ass computers on tape. But who could afford that? Until 15 to 20 years later, where some kids were working in the garage and they said, you know what, I think we can do this desktops. And people said, oh, no, not you kids. You're smart, but no. So then all of a sudden, desktops started showing up. Compaq had to come with theirs. And people said, okay, this is possible. Well, now we have an AI revolution. Same things are going to happen. And it's going to be worse this time, because this time there's replacements that are not human beings sitting right behind you, about 5 years removed, is my prediction. And it's going to be because AI will be able to generate the quantum and the physics and all that. They'll be able to do and help build it. That's the scariest part. Imagine your replacement actually helping the people that's going to replace you. That's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Brian P., Mr. Dividend. That's right, Dividend Day. Global news comes out with the YieldMax ETFs on Wednesday to let people know what they're going to actually have for dividends on Friday. If you have YieldMax ETF, if you have the Defiance groups. And this is a heaven sent situation with the stock market rolling up. Like I said on Monday's live stream, the upside down financial freedom is here. Military strikes in the Middle East, no problem. Russia, Ukraine still in conflict, no problems. Tariff wars around the world with the United States, no problems. Record high stock movement for many stocks, and we might reach record high in the S&P or the Dow in the next 4 or 5 days if this thing keeps rolling like this. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't get left behind again. Like I said, you have to be proactive. Brian P., Mr. Dividend, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. I hope all is well with you. Yes, happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. That's exactly right. Thank you so much for mentioning that. It's free, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. All right. We are making money in here. Exactly. And Brian P. always makes me go through this in the evening times. He's like, hey, check out your emails. Well, I get depressed when he sends me over some of these emails. I'm sitting there like, this can't be. All kind of mayhem is going on, and it's all-time record highs in the stock market. Imagine if everything was not in chaos. Could you imagine how high the stock market would be if there really was no additional wars? There was no conflict now between Israel, Iran, and imagine. Well, guess what? Sooner or later, it's going to come to a head. And since it kind of doesn't really affect the United States and their corporations and actually enhances the military industrial complex stocks, it's still going to be a win. It's just fortunate enough you live in America where you can actually make investments into these companies, because not everybody can do that. So I am teaching my parents how to use AI tools. EV Place right on. Good job, man. Exactly. That's what's going to be needed. Can you imagine people that are like, I mean, 70 years old, 75 years old, in fact, 65, even 55, even 50 right now, who's been working at the same job for the last 20 years, which is nothing wrong with that, but they're not in the computer space. They are, they know how to use a computer because most jobs require it, but they don't have to do anything beyond emailing, Excel spreadsheet, or something like that. And then that goes away. Imagine. That would be crazy, insane. So that's where we're headed. And again, I can't let you guys get down here and be out here holding bags. Okay, who could expect Nvidia not to collapse? Almost everyone have a device with their chip, but it looks like people don't realize it. Exactly, exactly, EV Place. And don't forget AMD. Don't forget, that's why Apple said, we got to start making chips. Remember, this is going to be a revolution. And unfortunately, for a lot of companies, Nvidia has enough stock market pricing where they can buy any competitors for a few $1 billion because they're willing to spend 1,000 billion stacks of dollars, because that's $1 trillion. 1,000 stacks of $1 billion is $1 trillion. So do you really think they're going to sit there and see some competitor that might have a little something that's a little better than them, and they're not going to go, hey, yeah, how about $10? Here's $10 out of our $1,000, so I can buy your company. In this case, it's going to be, here's $10 billion, because we have another 990 of those $1 billion stacks. So here's 10. We'll get your company. Now they see another company. Hey, let's merge. Why don't we do a stock swap or something? And here's a little $1 billion just so everybody can, be happy. That's what's going to happen, along with Apple, along with even Tesla, all the companies that have the market cap, Microsoft, the same companies, Meta, Facebook. Those companies have a huge advantage because they have a huge war chest. Not only do they have huge war chests, but they have a huge war chest with their stock pricing. So they can always find funding if they started losing profits. So again, this is where we're going. All right. It looks like people don't realize that not even mention their AI and cloud. Exactly. There's cloud right now. This is all going to tie in, ladies and gentlemen. The best of the best right now, they already have it working. It's just not working so it works on a mass scale. All right. So just keep that in mind. Jawway J, another investor's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received notification and he smashed that like button. Thank you so much. That's what you got to do out here. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel and share the videos. That's major. All right. I do have to do a PSA because, there's things that's mushroom coffee, and coffee in general is actually kind of good for you, but it depends on the coffee that you get. So we always have to promote our own. Our Professor Auntie Val and family. EV Place is going to have to remind me because the name of his business I can never think about and I forget, but I'm going to have to get him in the rotation because he does speakers. That's right. Sound systems. Elite. With a twist. So we'll have to get his info so he can put it in the comments section. And so therefore you guys know what to look for. Go hit him up if you're trying to get your car stereo systems up to 100% without having to spend thousands of dollars. Does that sound like a good OC, ordinary citizens, right? We don't want to be spending $5,000 for stereo, right? We $5,000, $6,000, $3,000, $10,000. You don't want to be spending that kind of money. If somebody says it costs $10,000, but then you find somebody that says, well, how about I put all this stuff in there for you and your cost You got everything. So it's all good. $1,000 and check out this sound. See, that's what's special. You need something like that, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need to be out here spending like ridiculous amounts of money. All right. That's my spiel for right now. Here's what I'm going to do. Jaway J, thank you so much. And Jaway J, let me know how it's been going with the appraiser. We need to know. This is Dominican Republic. We're talking about the appraiser. Well, what's happening, man? I mean, this is like crazy what they're doing over there. EV Place, Eric, get ready. MSTR could be added to the S&P 500 very soon. You know what that means. We know what that means, and it's going to be added. It's going to be added. You know why? It's very simple. That's an easy play for a stock that's already on the stock market without having to do an ETF or anything like that has its game into Bitcoin. So, of course, it's going to be in there. And Bitcoin, by the way, is up at 107, 108 right now. Again, you had every opportunity that we talked about a week ago where it was 99,000, 100,000. Where were you? It's already went up 10%. Where were you? Again, you have to be available to know. And that's why watching these live streams, you guys would have known about it. Now it's at 107, 108, something like that. So again, I like this, what you're saying, because I believe that's what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. Coinbase jumped 30% in 2 weeks. MSTR could be the second crypto there. Exactly. It is. And the funny part is MicroStrategy, which is now Strategy, which is very interesting. They were actually like a computer company. And then Michael Saylor's like, hold on, man, if I can get 25% every year and I have stocks and people buy our stocks and we increase to 25% a year, then why am I sitting here worrying about the computer aspects? How am I going to compete with all these guys? So why don't I just go all in with Bitcoin? And it's worked out greatly for him because now the United States government, it loves Bitcoin. I don't understand. But hey, for you and everybody here, if you have invested in Bitcoin when it was 15 grand or 20 grand or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, you're still going to be happy right now. So once again, you got to be in the game, ladies and gentlemen, what we talked about on Monday. All right, custom battery packs and speakers, inductors. Thank you, Eric. Is that the name of the company? Is that it? Where people can Google you and get that? But before I get into that, we got to do the health. Health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you don't have health care, if you live in America, your health care may be in jeopardy. And I mean, a lot of different ways. It could be Medicaid, it could be Medicare, it could be just health care from insurance companies that are bogus. I mean, don't want to pay out. It's a whole bunch of things. So health is wealth. So you need your health to be very, very good. So you should easily just Google and find out what's good for your body that you can get naturally. Not really pills, all right? Just so you guys know, here's the reason I'm going to get into the coffee. But just what I want you to know is when they give you pills, the reason why you have to get prescription pills is because when you take it down your throat, you only get around 15 to 20% of whatever the milligrams is on the pill. So the prescription pills are more potent. But as you very well know, most pills have black box, other AKA warnings. So there's always a problem. So you don't really want to take pills when there's a warning that it could cause something else go wrong in your body. So now you have to consider, why not go natural? The person that created the heavens and the earth, everything is on earth that your body needs naturally. So therefore, go that route first and start soon, start often. Because the sooner you get on that program, the longer the runway is going to be healthier. All right. Just keep that in mind. Now, let's get into custom battery packs. But first, the coffee. Our own Professor Auntie Val and family, beachfrontjava.com. But remember, iced coffee, iced tea, because she has tea as well. Many different varieties. I need you to go to beachfrontjava.com, place your first order, use the promo code all caps SSN lifestyle. That's right, it's a lifestyle. Why? Because after your first order, you receive discounts for life. Remember, put that promo code in there. Let them know you're from SSN Nation. All right? So go over there, show some love, because the coffee is from the best locations in the world. Central America, South America, Indonesia, African beans. Whole bean, fine ground for you espresso lovers, drip ground, and Keurig. Remember, half pound to 5 pound, and whole beans. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, EV Place. Now, this battery with speakers in the back, guess what? It's not your ordinary thing. That's what you guys have to understand. When he says custom battery packs, he's talking about not possibly, he's actually talking about you turn your car off. You can run your power system for an hour. We're talking about recharge capability. And we're talking about hopping up your power output. And if you start studying stereo and sound, you will know you can only push out. So you could have a 1,000 watt system, right? But if you don't have the right wires and then you have inferior connections, it's going to sound like garbage. No matter how much power, you could have 10,000 watts. That is not what matters. That's not number one on your list. If you want something clean, then you need the best connections. No degradation. You don't want any degradation. And so therefore, you can push out less power if you're closer to 100%. That you're not losing anything. Just keep that in mind. So that's what this is about. And oh my, it is inexpensive from his side of the fence. So therefore, he's giving you the power. He's giving you the custom hookup where it's going to be at. You just need everything else, from what I understand. So therefore, this is the man that you want to see, because you want to go, I have the best speakers. I have the best connectors. I have the best wires. Now, what do I need to make all this power come out of this thing and sound sweet? Go see this man. EV Place, custom battery packs and speaker inductors. I love it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, those are the two tonight. All right, let's see who else we have in the house. Jaway J, he says, I received the second appraisal and it came in at 236K. Okay, I will say this, 236K is only reasonable for, I don't know, I guess, but if they're selling the second phase, which are generally the same units, and they're not going to give the same amenities inside of the unit, like the free pool or something, then how can you be less than what they're selling the second phase for? So if at least that's better than 199. That's way better than 199. That's all I know. Because 199 is a travesty. 236 is better, but I still think it's a little travesty as well, because I think it should probably be more up like 280 to 300 the way they're selling. But again, it's all based on certain factors. Remember, we have to go by what somebody purchased for, really. We can't go by pre-construction prices in reality. We have to go by for what somebody has the same square footage and what they actually paid money for on the books. We can't go into fantasy land. So that's one of the things about appraisals and pre-construction. They are not going to match up most of the time. So that's where we're going, because there could be projects where people are entering into pre-construction not thinking, wait a minute, why should I buy a 2-bedroom penthouse unit for $250,000 to $300,000 when I can actually go get a villa for $236,000? See, this is what people aren't thinking about, right? You're still going to have to pay for it. You're still going to have to put down 20% or more. So the same kind of rules are going to apply. You're not, it's just that why overpay, right? That's why I'm saying if you're going to buy pre-construction right now, you better stay 150 and under. Do not go higher. Before you can get up to 250 because that's where you're going to be at right now. The price is going to be there. But now, no. 150 and under is what you have to buy. If you want to get a villa, I'm just unfortunately, you're probably gonna have to be well in like 236 right here. His is around the Vista Cana place on the outside. It's not inside. Las Risapol. But the point is, you are going to put yourself in position, and you don't want to put yourself in a bad position going pre-construction and spending. For instance, in his complex, I think if I have my numbers right, their pre-construction for the same unit he has with less of the amenities for the home is about $20,000 more. So now you have people buying the second phase for $20,000 more, and he has more at his place. So think about it. And so you would be like, hell, if he had it up for sale, you'd be like, well, I'll buy that then. Why am I going to pay an extra 20, 30,000? That could be my furniture. If you go to Oppein Furniture, Oppein, and make sure you let them know SSN Nation sent you. All right. Come on now. Connections. That's what you want out here. All right. The AI is going to take over. Are you going to be ready? Joe Nay, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he says, good evening, everybody. Wishing everybody is in good health. That's exactly right, Joe Nay. Hopefully you are. And thank you so much for bringing me those pictures. Pueblo Bavaro is clearing the deck of all. They're gentrifying. They're clearing the deck of the bad area, so to speak. I don't know where these people are moving to, but they're clearing it, putting in lots. They're doing gentrification over in Pueblo Bavaro. You're going to have to figure out if that's a good place for you. But what they're doing is they're making it a good place because they're putting in the infrastructure, and the infrastructure I'm referring to, shops, stores, new retail spots, and they're making it gated in that area. So now they're creating this enclave over there. I'm not mad at them. It is what it is. All right, we'll get into the AI, ladies and gentlemen, here quickly. Hey, Eric, check out your emails. I knew you were going to say this, man. Joe Nay, just smash that like button. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. Let me go right here because I've been long on this. Let's start. 60 plus stats on AI replacing jobs in 2025. The year 2025 is adding even more momentum to significant changes in AI. Is already causing to the job market. I know it's already causing it. That's why I had to come and break out right now to let you guys know 1 year, 6 months. And in this 1 year and 6 months, you're going to have to learn a new skill set. Investing. You're the CEO of your life, right? No fear, no excuses. By the way, you can't wait. You're going to have to figure it out down below in the description box. Oh, by the way, I don't have it down there. God dog it. I don't have it. Not yet. But if you watch this on replay in about another 5 minutes, you can download. If you're not familiar with stocks, there's apps, Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo. They give you free shares of stock. Each one of them is a little bit different. All right. So go do that. That would be helpful. And I'll get it hooked in short. In fact, I'll do it this way. I don't think this is going to work, but we'll still try. I'll put it in the chat room, but I don't think it's going to work. I think it's too long now because I have all three. I have all three in here. So wait, oh, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Here, I'll put it in the chat room. We'll see if all three can get in there. Something tells me it can't, but we'll still try. All right. Look at here. This is plain and simple. This is why I had to bust it out. As AI tools become increasingly powerful, this is like 1989, 1990, when it was a race. Every month somebody came out with new RAM, new hard drive, extra space. It was a race until the dot-com bust in 2000. Then this guys woke up and said, man, we can't keep racing like this. Because you're getting tech. Every 3 months, the tech is new. So everything that you made is outdated. But yes, people bought it. But now people are left way behind. So I'll give you an example. I'll use today's stuff. 1 terabyte starting in the 90s. If they started 1 terabyte in the 90s, 1990, by June of 1990, they would have a 1.5 or a 2 terabyte hard drive. If they had 6 cores of chips, the same thing would have happened. They would have said, oh, somebody's got 10 cores of chips in 6 months. So there somebody would have came out with 10 cores of chips, 2 terabytes, and a speed instead of 1.5 gigahertz, it would have been up to 2 gigahertz in 6 months. So that meant what happens in the next 6 months? Somebody's going to have that 2.5 terabyte hard drive, going to have 12 cores. That's how fast things were going. So everybody was getting left behind. They're in that race again with AI, because whoever dominates AI, they're the next multi-trillionaire company. Microsoft want to get left behind? No. Facebook? No. Nvidia's in the lead, I believe. Do they want to get left behind? And are we going to get our asses kicked from any other country? Because they understand what this is going to do. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Look at this. Anticipated LLM models like ChatGPT-5. You guys heard of ChatGPT. Most of you heard of it like last year, right? They weren't on ChatGPT-5. They were only on one at the time. See, in just 1 year, they go from 0 to 5. LLM models. You're going to have to study this. All right. Manus, dubbed the first general purpose AI agent, launched earlier this year. We're talking about in 2025. All right. However, will AI really put most people's jobs at risk, or is the reality more nuanced? Okay. Here we go. Here's the key statistics, ladies and gentlemen. This is the problem. 300 million jobs could be lost to AI. We don't need 300 million jobs lost to AI. That means a significant thing. Do you guys understand? There is not, even though there's, let's say, 350 million Americans in the United States, 300 million Americans don't work, right? 270 million don't work, right? Don't have a job. So when you start talking these numbers, and there's only potentially 200 million, 180 million jobs, that means that's a wipeout for the future generation. Because anybody that needs to come into the workforce will never get to 300 million. So that is a problem. So if you can replace 300 million people, that's everybody. Sure, there's going to be people that need to monitor the AI systems and need to know how to program and do things like that. But I bet you better get up on it. This is like if I was 18, 19, 17 years old. This is the computer generation. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I guess I better learn about computers. Because if you're young and you don't know about computers, you're going to be left behind, because AI is a whole different animal. It's a learning. It learns without you once you program it. So they get to evolve. And since their circuits are way faster than you can read, way faster than you can be on the computer, they can tap stuff from all different locations in milliseconds. So there's no way you can compete with this. All right. AI could force 14% of all workers to change careers by 2030. That's 5 years from now. You know what change careers could be like? You're going to start doing HVAC. You're going to start doing plumbing. You're going to start figuring out how to fix dishwashers. Are you going to start figuring out how to clean restaurants that may actually have robots? I mean, this is getting crazy. 47% of all U.S. workers could see their roles come under threat from AI in the next decade. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's 50%. That's 50%. What did I tell you? Their 47% is what they're talking about the next decade. But you already read the first part. By 2030, there could be 300 million jobs gone. That's already more than the available jobs in America. So if we're going to consider and let me go this route, if you let me go this route and I say Nvidia is going to be the leader, along with AMD has to come along, Microsoft, Facebook, they have to come along. Google's going to come along because they don't trust nobody with their stuff. So all these companies are all going to be going down one path, trying to be the biggest, the baddest, the best, and buy the competitors who's coming up or finds new technology that can help expand that AI movement. The dominant company is going to be multi-trillions, along with about all these guys I just mentioned. They're all going to be trillion-dollar companies. So remember, we need your chips in those 300 million robots. Just like in a car. How many chips are in a car? How many chips do you think is going to be in a robot or a robo-taxi? Think about it. If you start going, okay, well, 20, 50 chips per item, and you got 300 million of them, you guys, seriously, you don't want to miss out on that, do you? If you're a major corporation and you're at the forefront of this frontier, that would be sacrilege. Come on now. How are you going to be a loser? All right. Automating half, look at this, half of current tasks worldwide could take another 20 years. This right here, I don't think it's going to take 20 years. That's why I'm afraid. Like I said, I used to be a computer geek. I'm afraid of the AI thing. Not because it's going to do something to you, but it's more like these timelines, like 20 years. I don't think it's 20 years runway, because they are able to learn and adapt to the current situation and calculate for the future at the same time. So therefore you can move ahead a lot faster than humans would do. And that's where this 20-year runway, I don't believe. I believe there's a 10-year or less runway. I'm talking 5 years from now, just like they're talking about. I expect what's going to happen over the next 4.5 years is going to be out crazy, is all I'm saying. I don't think it's going to take 20 years of automating half, because what's going to end up happening is after 4 or 5 years, when somebody says, well, if you want this AI product, it's X amount. So let's just say, if you want this commercially, X amount, it's $25 million to put this package into your business, right? Then in 2029, that 25 million package is only going to be 10 million. Then in 2030, early 2030s, it could be like, oh, that's just $1,000. Same thing with technology is the same. Once you get AI, and now you're going to be able to do things like, you want to be able to control it, right? You don't want to have to buy from Nvidia or another company where they're controlling it. You want to control it. Think about it. Because you're going to be able to tell it, update. It's always going to be able to update to the latest things. And this is a crazy part. Think about what connections could be done behind your back, since AI is running its own way and doing its own thing. This could get crazy fast. All right, 60% of jobs in advanced economics at risk of being replaced, of course, because what we're talking about right now is already being seen online. Can you guys believe that there's people using AI to sell products, and it's just telling it what to do and put them together a plan and do everything? They have to actually upload the videos and do whatever right now, but in the future, it's going to do the whole thing, and they're getting additional sales, and they didn't have to put it all together. It's happening right now. This isn't like 5 years from now. It's right now. At the end of this year, do you know what's going to happen? Because Nvidia just stepped on the gas. They just stepped on the gas. They're just like, oh no, hell no. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be number one. I mean, the CEO is talking right, like he should. So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to get left behind. They're going to be replacing you, but not all of you can be replaced. Remember, somebody has to be able to make sure if something breaks down that it has to be fixed. But unfortunately, could it be another AI product because they recognize, oh, this is what's happened, so now we can send update. I mean, this is scary. This is really, really scary. All right. But just 26% of jobs in low income countries are similarly exposed. Of course not, because this is the same thing right now with we were talking about DR. Any developing nation or third world country, they're not 100% computerized. They don't even have internet, right? So they're on analog systems. So that's why it's low, and that's why they're talking about low income countries, because they don't even have the computers or the internet. So makes sense. And only 3% workers with less than a high school diploma are in work considered most exposed to AI job losses. Oh my. Wow. Okay. That's going to be interesting. Workers aged 18 to 24 are 129% more likely than workers aged over 65 to worry that AI will make their job obsolete. He's exactly that. Whoever's writing this is correct. That's why I was saying earlier, that's why I said if you're 65 and under, that's what I was saying. You could be 50 years old. Now you're going to have to start learning, because if you're going to be in the workforce for the next 12 to 15 years, it's coming. It's going to happen. You'll still be in the workforce another 5 years. You're going to be in your 50s still. So you're going to have to learn this skill. And just like EV Place is helping his parents, people 65 and over, it might not be job wise, but it could be, because we know less people are going to have jobs. So all the workers are going to have to, there's going to be a pile up. So you could find people 65, 70 years old at a job because they're going to pay them less than they have to pay somebody 35 to 45 years old, right? You know how they exploit you. You know, that's what a company does. They exploit the workers 90% of the time. They'll pay you $100,000, but if somebody walks in the door and says, "I'll take 80," or I mean, come on, they're going to take that person. 15% of workers in the U.S. would consider having an AI boss. Right now, it's 15%. Um, as this gets more tricky, where people are actually going to see things that are going to be incredible. I've seen some things that is incredible, quite frankly, but it's not in mainstream. They're going to be like, this is cool. All right. That's what's going to happen, because let's get real. You guys know Americans have gotten lazier over the years, right? You've seen all the kids at jobs, and kids under 35, it seems, that have a phone in their pocket. That, hey, when I came up, I sound like an old dude, grandpa. When I came up, I am grandpa, by the way, but when I came up, we would have had to put our phones in a cubby. We can't have them at our desk. In fact, if we got found with one of these on our phones while we're at our desk at work, you could get fired. I mean, these guys are going to have a problem. Big problem, is the way I see it myself. It's going to be crazy. If you have MSTY or Morrow, you have an exposition for BTC anyway of dividends. You're damn right we have MSTY. You're damn right. MSTY, Morrow. Yeah, Morrow. That's right. Exactly. Morrow's still around 20, 21 probably now, because it was upper 20s, I believe. It should be 21 something. MSTY, I don't remember what it was. I didn't look at it, but we'll look at it after in a little bit. So keep that in mind. But you're exactly right, EV Place. You get some exposure to BTC, and that's why I love MSTY, because it's staying within a range. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you can get 79%, 65% distribution in returns for what you invested, and your stock price can stay within a $3 range, for these high dividend yield stock returns. That's what you want. If the stock price goes up, that's even better. But long as it stays in that range and doesn't drop 20 or 30 or 40 or 50%, that's where you want it to sit. So if somebody says, hey, you're going to get 70% this year, as long as the stock price stays within $23 to 20, I'll take it. Because you should be buying every time it went down to below your dollar cost average, you should be buying more anyhow. All right, just saying. Just saying. More shares means more dividends. All right, let's go. Joe Nay says, I only received this just yesterday. Wow. That was a couple of weeks ago. Now working with Banco Lopez de Haro. That's right. The big boys. All right. And they seem to be the only one responding. I will keep you posted. Yeah, they're the only ones responding. Man, have you seen their rates? Well, okay. Last year in December, they were the loan officer was talking crazy. He was saying some stuff like, we have a 1 year fixed rate of 9.5. After that, you have to go into this adjustable rate, and it's 13.5%. I was like, oh, what? He goes, yeah, it has to be a USD account at 13, but if it's a peso account, it's like 14.5. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, so if somebody owed 100,000, they got to pay 14,000 a year in interest. I mean, that's over that oh man, that's $1,200 a month in interest, and you haven't even paid your principal for those adjustable, and it's adjustable. So what's going to happen is, just like this year, when the inflation goes up in DR, your adjustable rate mortgage can go up. So it might be 14.5, but it could be 15%. And they don't do like in America where it can change every year or every 6 months adjusted. They said they go like month to month. I'm like, oh no. Hey, check it out, Yahweh J. Make sure, because they might have changed things, because they're going to have to, because they're finding out that a lot of people aren't going to qualify. So they're going to have to change their ways on what they're doing. Now, remember, this is like 8 months ago, 9 months ago. And 8 or 9 months before that, it was something different. It was a lower rate. It was 8.5. And they were talking about 11.5 and 12.5% for adjustable rate loans. So things change all the time. So they might have changed over the last 8 months. But again, good. I'm glad you got those guys. I like them. I'm currently selling my packs on eBay. The website wasn't efficient enough. Exactly. It can never be, especially when you're an up and coming, because you're not going to get the traffic. So well done. You should be on eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, whatever. Yeah, whatever you got to do. What's that other thing? Can't remember the other stuff. All right. I will send you an email with my most wanted pack link. All right, cool, man. That would do it. So then I can share it. NVIDIA is almost up 4.5%. Joe Nay. I know, man, just over the last few days. But it's more than that, Joe Nay. Because 2 months ago, when we were all giddy and it was under $90 a share, you could have bought at 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 95. Even if you bought at 100, the stock price is at 153. 50% return. And rising. You know why it's rising? Because I can't remember who came out with it. It might have been Sachs. It could have been anybody. But somebody came out and they put a price target for NVIDIA at $250 today. Because of what they said. They're going to spend $1 trillion on the AI race. And since their stock went up 50%, all-time record highs, now they can use their stock to do it. And it's going to go up even more. So, again, that's why your dollar cost average matters. And we were here, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to help you. We were here when we were right here. And I believe EV Place, he's an investor. He's the one that did the unthinkable, I believe, if my memory serves me right. He's the one when I was all giddy that day and it dropped down to 88. He's the one that said, oh no, early this morning it was 86 or something along that line. And I'm like, what? I didn't see that. And then he said it was early this morning for, whatever. Sure enough, if I would have been paying attention, I could have bought it 86 instead of 88. But I'm still happy regardless. Right? I want to cry. I'm real happy regardless because we've been talking about this stock stuff for the last 2.5, 3 years. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. You should have been there. Yeah, Joe Nate. Today it's just moving. It's going to keep moving because people are giving it $200 stock prices, and like I said, somebody came out today and did $250. I'm like, oh my, that means it's got room to run. And as soon as they start making investments or acquisitions, people are going to add into the package. And when they get orders later on for the new, see, this is the other thing. They came out with something new in December and January. At the end of this year, they're going to come up with the upgraded version of what they already brought out. So now people are going to have to spend millions of dollars again to get the new stuff. Because if you're working on the stuff that came out in 2024, and you're a competitor in the space of wherever your space you're in, you're going to have to invest or get left behind. It's that simple. That's how the race works. And race is on, ladies and gentlemen. I love every bit of it. I love to see this because I've been bitching for the last 20 years because the geeks, or not the geeks, but the corporations slowed down. They slowed down any progress for computers. They slowed it down. For cell phones, they slowed it down just because they realize they can't keep improving every 6 months because their product is now no longer worthy because a year later, you've improved it twice. So they said, hold up, we'll just slow this down altogether starting in 2000s. And then we'll start doing subscription based and doing all this BS, right? All right. But hey, they made the money. That's how they did it. Yep. SMCI, we love that 8.8% because it was down. Well, it's still under my dollar cost average. I had to get some more. And I'm loving it. And I like that SMCI came up because remember, we were talking about SMCI when all hell broke loose. And it went down to like $17. And people said, Eric, do you think you should get some? I said, for $17, you should get some. It's no longer $17 or 20 or 25 or 30. I'm just saying, people did 100% because they took a chance when SMCI was having this media problem. All right. All right. Let's keep going. Here we go. 15% of workers don't mind having an AI boss. Here we go. AI may replace 300 million jobs. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is pretty right on. That represents 9.1% of all jobs worldwide. Now, here's the thing. I think this is an understatement of 300 million jobs. The reason why I say this is because there's I can't remember the numbers. There's around 3 billion people on the planet that is into computer related type work, right? So those people are going to be affected. So 300 million, if we're talking worldwide, it's going to be way more than 300 million. Way more. There's no way around it. And more people are going to actually have the internet too. So with both of those things going on, this is going to affect a lot more people. Remember, AI is going to be in cars. AI is going to be on your computers, on your cell phones. They're already on it, but not to the extent where it's going to be 3 years from now. So it's going to get crazy fast. And 3 years goes by just like that. So don't worry. Globally, 20 million manufacturing jobs could be replaced by automated tools by 2030. I agree. I agree with this wholeheartedly. I'm thinking by 2030, we're talking about hundreds of millions of manufacturing jobs. The reason why, have you guys seen anything about the Amazon warehouse? Have you guys seen they're using robots already? They have one guy in this section of a warehouse, and they have all these robots moving on the floor, moving products, picking up products, moving it around. They're running on a smaller scale AI system with somebody computerizing it. Imagine 2 years from now when AI starts going, here's the order comes in, and the robots and AI work together and just starts working. They're like, okay, we got the order. Go get it. See us at the shipping dock. Because they already have auto EV vehicles moving. They have already laid the tracks down, so to speak. The chips are on the floor. So it's already been able to drive themselves to any location in the building, in the room. It's already happening. They don't like really showing it that often, but it's happening already because they want people to believe that a lot of people work for Amazon. Do you really think Amazon can move all the millions of packages per day by human hands? Come on, stop. All right, stop. All I'm going to say, stop. All right, I should bring up a video just to prove my point. This is going, ladies and gentlemen. You're about to be replaced unless you learn how to be the programmer, unless you're one that's going to learn how to be involved, because not everybody wants to learn. See, let's put it this way. You know, when you go to high school and there's always the kids that go, I need an A on everything. And then it starts going downhill. After the kids go, I got to be on the honor roll. I got to make A's. I cry if I don't have A's. That wasn't me. I'm just saying. I cry if I don't have A's. Those people, they're the ones you're going to see on stage with the ribbons and all when you graduate. But 99% of the people in the crowd, you don't have ribbons, you don't have no honors, you don't have nothing other than maybe you're on the honor roll. Yes. Maybe you're team captain of a sport or something. Yes. But the top guys are up there. Everybody else is settling to be less than 4.0 students because they don't want to put in the commitment. And that's the hierarchy with anything. If you want to be the best or want to learn something, you have to go learn it. And depending on how far you want to go up that mountain, you have to continue to learn and you have to try to be the best. And lots of people will not do that. They will learn just so it's functional for them. They will learn just so they can work at a job. But they're not going to be the boss, right? That's how it works. All right. SMCY, almost 7%. This is what I like to hear, man. That's great. My man, Robert Speller, he's in the house. The accountant, bookkeeper extraordinaire. Speaking of AI, he's in the Bay Area and he does internet bookkeeping. And I'm pretty sure those AI materials are going to come into play with that IRS bookkeeping situation. So I'm sure he's going to have to learn. NVIDIA leads in all infrastructure. Oh my, thanks to its dominance in GPUs that power most AI model training and inference workloads. Microsoft leverages its extensive cloud platform, Azure. A lot of people haven't heard of Azure. Its partnership with OpenAI and deep integration of AI tools across enterprise products. There you go. Google Alphabet remains a leader in AI research. You know why? Because Google, there is an existential threat because that search engine, they're number one. If somebody comes up with an AI search engine, they're not going to Google no more, right? So that's why Google has to be in the game along with all the other search engines. They have to spend the billions of dollars to make sure they're in the game. I like this. This is what you put down here, Mr. Speller. All right. And AI research and innovation, particularly through DeepMind and its integration of advanced AI into products like search, ads, and Google Cloud. Exactly right. Exactly. I got too excited once I started reading it because we know where it's going. They had a threat. They have a serious threat right now. They can't have AI all of a sudden take over as a search engine by itself without them. They won't make any money on the ads or anything else. So they have to be in it. So all of the top companies that he has pointed out here, they're like on a race right now. because this could change the balance of power easily. All right. Thank you, Mr. Robert Speller. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. One of my high school partners and friend. All right, man. Very nice to see you. Love the support. Appreciate it. But hey, by the way, guys, go see Mr. Speller. LinkedIn. You can find him there. He does accounting, and he can help you out for small businesses, big time businesses, corporations, whatever you need for integrating your software for what you're going to need to do for your business. All right. So go check him out. Show some love. All right. EV Place. AI will not fix your house, but will tell you how to do it and calculate the cost. Exactly, EV Place. Oh, but, and see, here's the thing right here. Here's the thing right here. Just like what's happening right now. So right now, let's say you need to fix your door and put in a new lock, right? And you've never done it before. You can go right now to YouTube, put it in, and then you can pull up, videos and you'll get it, right? But this is where it's going, because now I'm going to go, hey, I have this model. I need to put it in. Can you just pull up this video for me and show me? You're just going to talk it. It's going to pop up and it's just going to start rolling. You don't have to search. You don't have to do nothing. That's where this is going. So when you say AI will not fix your house, you're right, unless, the robots can do something. But that's not for 10 years. But for the house, I think. But nonetheless, for the minor things that you would normally have to call, like plumber, you don't have the plumber tools. Makes sense. Electrical, that you might have to call an electrician about, all of a sudden starts changing, because now with AI, it's going to say, hey, you should see a green wire, a red wire, a white wire, and the red one and the black one is going to be hot. It can start explaining. And you can sit there and be like, after they say, shut off the electricity at the panel, then all of a sudden it's going to start talking and might even give up diagrams and video. So now it's going to go, here's the tools you need. And the next thing you know, you might not need an electrician that often, but you're going to probably need the HVAC guy. But then again, if people have instructions and they have it where they can show you exactly, because remember, I can put in a model number, I can put in everything, and then it's going to tell me based on where they're pulling information from. Here's the information. According to me, this is how it can be changed or done or fixed. So don't put anything past. People are resilient, especially when in the next few years, you call up a plumber, HVAC guy, and anybody to fix your house, and they're going to say something crazy like, just to come to your house, it's going to cost $400 traveling fee. And when I get there, I'm going to be charging $300 per hour. You know why they're going to be saying such things is because there's going to be less calls potentially, right? Because with AI, what should happen on the other side of the fence is the quality of products should increase as well. Because the way of the computing and everything, they'll say, well, this is the problem and you could make it better. So now things may last longer, like it's 1950s or 60s all over again. All right. Okay. But yeah, I see your point. You're still going to need some people that actually have hands-on skills, which again, that's work, right? Americans aren't used to work anymore. They're not used to the hard work. Only a small percentage. That's why the immigrants in the country take these jobs that they're working 8, 10 hours a day, maybe even 12 in hot sun, picking fruit. Nobody wants to do that, right? But 100 years ago, hell, people were very happy to do that. That was the way of life. But now people are spoiled. Let's face facts. It's hard to go back. So that's what's going to happen. Tesla's down today because their robo-taxis in Austin has some issues. Yeah, exactly. again, I'll never understand how Tesla's the price at what it is. The FSD is not going to cut it, in my opinion. They need to go by LiDAR and all that. I don't know why they're even attempting this. And that's, and the other issue is because of Elon and his political stuff, what he was doing, richest dude on the planet, not a good look to be cutting services and of the poor and of the less fortunate and handicapped and the ill. That wasn't a good look. So, but their price is still 300 and something. I mean, it's crazy. Like I said on Monday, the upside down financial freedom is here. We were on time Monday. If you guys missed Monday, I was on time because look what's happening over the last 2 days and 3 days and 4 days, because they will get an announcement sometime in the next 7 to 10 days. They're going to get a forewarning from the governors. I believe here it comes. Remember, I kept telling you guys 45 to 60 days. Well, the 60 days is July. The Fed meeting, I think they're going to do the unthinkable. They're going to say rate reduction. And they're off to the races after that. That's all-time record highs on top of all-time record highs. So if you're not in the stock market, you better get in there. And by the way, before I forget, I better get in there, right? I got to do something here. I didn't put down anything in the oh my. I put in the chat room. That's what I did. Get your free stocks from Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo. There's things. Robinhood gives you one free share of stock. You don't have to do anything special. All right. Webull, you have to deposit, and then they'll give you anywhere from 5 to 15 fractional shares or stocks. Moomoo, you have to put $100 in or more, maintain $100 or more for 60 days, and at the end of 60 days, they release about 5 or 6 free stocks. They have different promotions all the time. Use the link down below in the description box, please. Wealthfront, for all of you who don't want to invest in stocks and just want to set it and forget it, Wealthfront. The link is down below. $500 all the way up to $4,990. No management fees. Pretty good, right? As long as you have under 5,000, no management fees. Once you get to 5,000 and up, they charge their management fee, which is still small. And how can they lose in this environment? The upside down financial world is inexplicable. I can't explain it. I can't explain what's happening right now. It's incredible what we're watching. All right, let's keep going. Most of these automated tools are robots, not strictly AI, but some of these lost jobs will be replaced by new AI tools. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This isn't going to be no 300 million jobs lost worldwide. It's going to be more like 1 billion jobs lost. It's going to be insane. Okay. By 2030, 14% of employees will have been forced to change their career because of AI. That's exactly right. I agree with this. That's 14% of the global workforce, 375 million workers. Here you go. It's little wonder that AI courses to help workers upskill in the new technology is becoming more and more popular. Of course. Wall Street expects to replace 200,000 roles with AI in the next 3 to 5 years. Oh no, it's going to be more. It's going to be a problem. How are you going to have brokers, people that work in these stock market firms, calling people on the phone when AI is going to be right there and you can get all the info you want? I mean, the guys on the floor doing these roles of, manual labor, when people can make phone calls and you can get it done in less than a few tenths of a second. Come on. And speaking of stocks in Wall Street, the markets are already open 24 hours. It's going to be open 24 hours. And more people are going to have access to it. So this is why the United States, which has the largest stock market on the planet, another reason why they want to go AI, because that would mean we can include other people outside the United States potentially. I'm waiting for that to happen. But guess what? They've already done it, because what they did was they did crypto. They're creating crypto where they're going to allow you to buy real estate, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to tie in assets that are not out of thin air into a product. And once you start doing that, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose, because now money crosses over lines without having to go through the banking system. But they're going to try and make you go through the banking system still, which is going to be interesting. But like I said, who's going to all sign up for this? Because they can always turn it off. All right, here we go. At 20, a 2025 Bloomberg Intelligence survey of 93 major banks, including Citigroup, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, found that workforces would be cut by an average of 3% by 2030 at the least. Almost 1 in 4 executives expect reductions of 5 to 10%. I disagree with them. I think it's going to be way more than 5 to 10%. We're already seeing the repercussions of this happening right now. 75% of CEOs think generative AI will significantly change their business within the next 3 years. I agree. 3 years, I agree. A large majority business leaders polled by PwC foresaw the need for training in new skills, improving cybersecurity protocols. There we go. That's going to be huge. By the way, I need a cybersecurity investment right now. And host of other changes, all due to the introduction and adoption of generative AI. Palantir, I don't like the owner of that place, but they got the end for the cybersecurity for the United States military and all kind of things, and they're using AI. They already have a lead on a lot of corporations. So you have play with PLTY, with Yieldmax ETF, just so everybody understands, right? You have play. So keep that in mind. Tesla's down because of robo-taxis. Exactly, man. All robots will need some batteries. There you go. Yeah, and you know what? Pull up Fetch Robotics. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Spell says a former client of mine, sent fulfillment robots to Amazon 12 years ago. Exactly. They're on a whole nother level. They already have just chips laid down on the ground, and their whole floor is full of robots just doing stuff. And the one guy's just sitting there, just making sure everything's going good, doing some little stuff. But that used to be like 50, 60 people. And they're not moving like an inch a minute. No. These things are moving like no problem. I can't even guess the miles, but 15 to 20 miles per hour, I would guess. They're moving. These little robot things are moving. Their arms are going over here, picking stuff up. It's crazy. And like he said, 12 years ago, and by the way, he's in the Bay Area. So again, he's in Silicon Valley area, so he gets to see things well in advance. And that's what Amazon was never telling people, along with other factories. They weren't telling people that they already have robots doing stuff. They didn't want to frighten people all these years because people are losing their job. Why do you think like Amazon and all these like tech companies always have an issue with unions being formed? They're like, we don't even need you. I mean, you're going to be phased out here in about 2 years. We don't even really need to do this. So they always fight it. It's not crazy. That's how it works out here, ladies and gentlemen. You have a right to learn. You have a right to learn, and I suggest you learn. It looks like I even have to go on a learning curve for this. 80% of U.S. workforce could have at least 10% of their tasks impacted by large language models. Yeah, you think? Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. 80%, exactly. Practically every job involves some tasks that are vulnerable to being automated by AI. Only a small minority of workers are totally unexpected to AI. Now, this is what I've been saying from the get-go. You guys should have started off with this sentence right here. This is exactly what's going to happen. Practically every job involves. So this is why this 300 million worldwide number cannot be 300 million worldwide. That's why. It's going to be billion. at least in the next 5 years. More than 7.5 million data entry jobs will be lost by 2020. Ooh, yeeks. That's just less than 2 years from now. If any of this holds true, it's still going to be catastrophic. 41% of employers worldwide intend to reduce their workforce because of AI in the next five years. Okay, I'm just going to be redundant if I keep saying this, but hey, it's going to be well more than what they're saying. The 2025 Future Jobs Report found that 92 million roles could be displaced by 2030, although it forecasts a net gain of 78 million new jobs. I don't know what they mean by this. If I have 92 million jobs gone and you're saying I'm going to bring back 78 million, I could live with that, you saying that, but by the time 5 years rolls around, you have robots, you have AI, you have artificial language, artificial learning. It's going to impact well more than 100 million jobs. 47% of U.S. workers are at risk of losing their jobs to automation. Oh, I went back up. I'm reading the same thing. Hold on. I got to get down here now. Let's see if there's anything pertinent. 60% of jobs. So when I was saying they should have started it off at the beginning, I was back up at the top. So it's good they started off at the beginning. I didn't know I missed that. I don't remember reading that. 30% of U.S. companies have replaced workers with AI tools like ChatGPT-1. 30% already. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying. It's going to go faster than what they're saying here. They're just trying not to scare you. So you're going to have to learn AI. Everybody. Just get on with it. From January to early June, 77,999 tech job losses were directly linked to AI. Wow. 40% of companies that are adopting AI are automating rather than augmenting human work. 40%, ladies and gentlemen. And this is with AI right now. What's going to happen when it's improved a year from now? It'll be well more than 40% of companies. Like I said, don't let them fool you. You're going to be replaced. I'm going to speed this up and get off of here. 13.7 of U.S. workers report having lost their job to a robot. It's already happening. Like my man Spell said, 12 years ago, they were giving out robots. 2/3 of all jobs in U.S. and Europe are exposed to automation. Of course. I agree. 40% of jobs worldwide are exposed to AI. Again, how many jobs are there worldwide? 40%. So again, it's not going to be 300 million, ladies and gentlemen. There's 300 million jobs probably just between the United States and Canada. Let's get real. All right. 60% of jobs in advanced economies could be impacted. Advanced economies. Again, these are significant numbers. Significant. 27% of workers with a bachelor's degree or higher are employed in jobs most exposed to AI. Okay. Workers in jobs considered most exposed in AI earn 13.3 an hour. Wow. More than those in jobs least exposed to AI. Here we go. While workers in the jobs most exposed to AI earned an average of $33 per hour, those employed in jobs least exposed to AI earn just $20 per hour. Oh my God. $20 per hour is not a livable wage. $33 an hour is really not a livable wage. Maybe if you have two people in the house, but none of that's livable wage. So again, this is going to impact how much people are going to be paid, and they're going to look at human beings as less than, and that's going to be a problem in the future because you can see the numbers. They don't lie. AI replacing 34% of all businesses. All right, you know what I'm going to do? That's enough. That's enough right now. I can't keep going because I get excited hearing these numbers. And we know the OCs, they're coming after you. I'm going to put a link in the chat box so you guys will be able to go over there and look at it. I'm going to have it down below in the description box. I'll put it in the description. I mean, yeah, in the description box below. I put a link. You'll have to refresh if you're on your desktop or laptop, and you'll have you can go in and check it out if you're on your cell phone. So go check it out because this just keeps going on and on and on. And you'll see that all of this together is what's going to happen combined. And this is why I don't think 5 years from now, I think 2 years from now, there's going to be a high impact incoming because of the race. This is like 2000 all over again, or actually 1990s all over again. So I love to see it. This is great for those who are actually going to make sure they know about it. Oh, you know what I want to do? He mentioned Fetch Robotics. I don't know who Fetch Robotics is, but Fetch Robotics, it says permanently closed. Let's see what happened. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, man, I can't. Okay, here we go. Oh, Fetch Robotics of San Jose, based developer of autonomous mobile robots, AMRs, for logistics, has been acquired by Lincolnshire, Illinois-based Zebra Technologies for $290 million. The acquisition is expected to close third quarter of 2021 is a subject. Look, see, look at this. 4 years ago, well, third quarter 2021, 2.5 years ago. Oh no, it is almost 4 years ago. Now that I'm thinking about it, because aren't we we're in the second quarter now? But we're in the third quarter now, right now. July comes as third. July, August, September. Yeah, so it's 4 years ago. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. See how Zebra brought them for $290 million in 2021 when it was robots. Oh yeah, okay. It'll be 20 or 30 years from now. No, somebody paid $290. That's crazy. Zebra Technologies, ZBRA, is on the NASDAQ. Innovator at the front line of business with solutions partners that deliver performance edge to announce it intends to acquire. Okay. So AMRs, that's what they do. And you guys might start seeing the AMRs. You might start seeing these robots mowing the lawns. Have you guys seen that yet? That's the latest thing, and they're not that expensive. This is where we're going. This is where it's going. Landscaping could be less people. It's crazy. Here we go. A former client of mine, fulfillment robots to Amazon 12 years ago. Fetch Robotics. Wow. Running it now. Oh, wow. Correct. Okay. Somebody came in here that I don't want. Let me get this guy out. Okay. Block. Okay. All right. Hui is pay. I know. $6.50 per share. That's Robinhood. Can you believe that? Their stock price, what is it, around 60? Unbelievable. 10% payout this month is crazy. I love it. We'll get into that shortly, ladies and gentlemen, because we got to go to the global news, right? But I had to go find out about, now it's Zebra Technologies has the Fetch Robotics from 4 years ago. Sorry, it wasn't 5 years. 4 years ago, because it was 2021. So they've had 4 years head start and then some. Whatever the runway started for Fetch is pretty interesting. So let me see here. I was going to go do this. Hui. Oh, no, I was going to do June 27th, Yield Max ETF stocks. Dividends. I need global. Here it is. Global. Here we go. Here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your rocket ship ride if you want to take the risk. If you want to go with 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, heaven forbid, 100% distribution returns on what your yield's going to be, here's an opportunity because they do option income trading. All right. Oh, hold on a second. I think I can do this. Option income trading. And they get the fees and premiums, and that's what they distribute to the YieldMax ETF and Defiance Group members. So here we go now. That's incredible. These right here are weekly payouts. Again, I wish they would put the price of the share of stock for the day, but they haven't. But anyhow, you can see here semiconductors, 37 cents. GPT, that's AI and tech, 31 cents. LFGY, that's crypto industry and tech, 48 cents per share. Then you have others that are weekly. That's the Defiance Group. RD2000, that's the Russell 2000, that's 20 cents. Covered call ETF for the NASDAQ 100, which it hit its all-time record high this week, which is incredible. That's 11 cents per share of this QDTY for everybody on podcast. And then you get into more covered call S&P 500, okay, 11 cents. ULTY, 9 cents. YMAG, 15 cents. YMAX, 15 cents per share. ABNY is the Airbnb, 32 cents. AMDY, 46 cents. Coney, Coinbase, 53 cents per share. CVNY, Carvana, which I don't get it how that's happening, but $1.70 per share on a $42, $40 a share stock. What is that? That's not bad. It's not $4, but hell, it's still $1.70. And this is monthly that we're into now. CONY, AMDY, ABNY is all monthly. Fiat shorting coin is 15 cents. Hui, $6.50 this month. Wow. Microsoft, MSFO, 48 cents. MFLY, that's Netflix, 43 cents per share. And PayPal, PYPY, 32 cents per share at YieldMax ETF. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You can already figure out your weekly payout. Gotta love it. Based on some of you who have some of these shares, and I know a lot of you watching have some of these shares. Gotta love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. Winners in the house. Powell said that tariffs can rise inflation, and if that happened, he will not cut rates till the fall. EV Place, I heard him. But here's what's going to end up happening. If the stock market keeps moving like this, I think they're going to pull the trigger. And I also believe, first of all, there's one or two governors that have already said they want to cut rates now. So all it takes is a few more powerful people in the government to sway a few more, and that vote's going to come out. And I think it's going to happen at the end of we got 30 days at the end of next month. But I hear you. He did say that. And what's the fall, by the way? Is that September, October? What is that? So, which July, August, September, another 3 months on top? It could happen because they really have no reason to cut the rates if people are. Well, there are reasons. I'll tell you one reason. There's no reason really, as long as their favorite thing, the stock market, is rising in this situation, even with the inflation, even with the tariffs, even with tariff wars. That's what I'm saying. Imagine what would have happened if this didn't even exist. And we were still in the Iran deal, along with the other nations and inspectors and making sure and we wouldn't have been involved in this conflict. Man, the stock market would be probably another 10 to 20% higher, which is incredible because there'd be stability. Um, but here's what also came out. Let me look it up. I can't. I didn't really get it up. Homes. The most amount of homes for sale is up there from the last 3 or 4 years. So that happened. That came out today. Um, how many homes are on the market? It's a crazy number. Crazy number. Because a lot of people, even though a lot of people have a 2.5, 2.9, 3.4, um, Redfin, 59,000. No. That's not what I'm looking for. It came out today. New shows. That's not it. That's not it. Where is it? Nothing. Um. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I put right now for the AI search. 2 million residential homes listed for sale in the United States, according to Redfin. That's it. So that's supposedly the most since 3 years ago. That's when home prices went up so crazy that everybody had to sell because their price of their home that they bought for 300 or 250,000, people were willing to pay 500. So you couldn't blame them. All right. I can't find it, but probably it's at CNBC. I was going to check it out a little bit later. All right. This is great, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you guys think that you need to be concerned. I know EV Place already said that he's helping his parents, trying to get them up to speed, like crypto. Exactly. Exactly. Crypto as well. You guys make sure you have your BTC and Ethereum. Check out your emails. A lot of news, I know, man. In fact, I might do a live stream tomorrow night just on all the news. It's all about resources now: copper, steel, aluminum, battery materials to build all these robots, and energy costs. Of course, that's right. Rare earth minerals comes into play, and and great news that there's some other things that's come into play with research and science with regard to power and electricity. We're talking about Japan allegedly has a strip that apparently can power homes. This is crazy if you have enough of them, and a few, not a lot, just a few of strips. That is insane if it's true. That changes the whole dynamics because you could put that film on your car, just to give you an idea. That's how crazy this is. So you can put a film on your windows and power your whole house. This is crazy. After 3 months, the yield max, I'm at 0.25. Oh, plus 25% stock price plus reinvesting. So 100% annual is still possible. Oh, that is what it is. If people actually do the mathematics, they would consider it 100%. 25%, 3 months is awesome. In fact, 25% for the year people would take. So that is sweet. There is a reason DXY is on level from 3.5 years ago. Exactly. Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to run, unfortunately. I have a timeline. You know why? Simple. I just tell you. Because I got to go to the store. It closes at 11. This has been a great conversation, but I got to go. So I got to cut this off. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate your support. I might do a live stream tomorrow night because this stocks situation where the top 10% of the wealthiest own 93% of it, we need more of us owning in the stock market. And right now is the best time because when it moves up like this is great for option income trading. This is great for just buying stocks. It's great to be in the ETF with VOO, Vanguard Group, or any other great ETF fund. And you have other options out there with crypto coming on board now. So you have a myriad of things that you should be investing in that they're going to carry you along for this revolution of AI, robots, and you could come along for the ride. by owning a piece of the company and receiving the appreciation of the stock price, like what happened in Nvidia just in the 2 months that it went up over 50%. Or you can have dividend stocks that you're going to be able to get 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% potentially as this ride goes. So that's why you got to stay in it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I appreciate you being here. I love you guys all, and I appreciate your support. But please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I'll see you tomorrow night. I'll make that commitment right now, and I'll see you Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Tomorrow night, it'll probably be a little earlier. I might do like 8 p.m.-ish or something like that. Check out the Substack group. Yes, I started, not really, is it a group? I don't really know. I just been posting some things, and it sends out a message. Substack. And I don't even know if I have a link, but nope, don't have a link for it. But nonetheless, it's on our social media platforms on Instagram and things like that, Facebook group and page and all that. I put a link down so you can go get to Substack. But that's what we're going to do. Okay. Well, just make sure you stay safe out here because things are going crazy. But for the financial news, it's an upside down financial freedom. It's going down regardless of what's happening around the world. It's incredible. So imagine after things get settled, there's an extra boost that's going to happen. That's the way I look at it. Let me know what you think about it after I get off this live stream by leaving comments. But again, thank you so much, you guys, and make sure you stay safe out here because a lot of turmoil is going on. People are under stress. And with all that said, hold up a second. Make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.